Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, pilot Jack Rulin in Skycam 16, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark, and Joe Zone on sports. This is Newswatch 16.
The government has a warning tonight for some liquid propane gas valves. It's a story that Action 16 and Jerry Gartenberg have been looking into. The government says some of these valves could be defective and dangerous.
The valves were manufactured by the Honeywell Corporation between 1958 and 1976. They can be found on thousands of liquid propane furnaces, space heaters, and water heaters, some right here in our area. The government says some valves marked V8280 and all valves marked V5130 are designed with faulty knobs that can jam and cause raw gas to escape. The result? Fires and explosions, which the government says are responsible for 17 deaths and close to 60 injuries. Well, what does Honeywell have to say? Company officials tell me the valves are perfectly safe, that accidents and deaths occurred because the valves weren't installed correctly, or customers didn't follow manufacturer's directions. Honeywell now says it's placing stickers on the valves warning against improper use. The company says it will also replace free of charge any knobs it finds are stuck with newer model knobs. Knobs the government says have an improved design and are less likely to get stuck. If you have either the V8280 or V5130 valve and would like to have it inspected, you're asked to contact your LP gas dealer or call Honeywell at this number, 1-800-328-8194. Once again, the number for Honeywell, 1-800-328-8194.
Thank you, Jerry.
And Newswatch 16 continues with a famous Scrantonian going overseas to help the hungry.
Plus, our Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark with his Weather Watch. What do you have there, Tom?
Well, welcome back, Nolan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
A little tan, doesn't he,
A
Karen?
little.
You missed the record cold wave, Nolan.
Thank goodness.
What was the temperature down there, quick?
84 degrees.
84 degrees. Welcome back, I think.
That was under a sun lamp, of course.
Oh, I see.
In Buffalo.
It's cheaper that way. Yeah.
Right.
I'll have the Weather Watch from the backyard. Stay tuned.
What does this real seal say to you? Of course, it means that you are getting real dairy foods, never imitations. You have the assurance of the American Dairy Association. But most of all, the real seal tells you that real cheese, cream, and butter come from a place like this, fresh and natural. So always check the ingredients or look for the real seal, because who knows where the imitations come from. You know it's real when you see the real seal.
Good. Well, let's go out to the backyard to our meteorologist, Tom Clark. I understand it's going to be a little bit warmer, Tom. That sounds good.
Yes, Karen, by just a few degrees, nothing dramatic in the temperature department the next couple of days. Tonight I am wearing a pin made by Mr. Amos Starr, a loyal Newswatch 16 viewer from Allenwood, which is about 15 miles south of Williamsport. Now, this thing is hand-carved out of cedar wood. It looks like an I, and there's a heart in the middle. I love 16. Get it? Uh-huh. We want to thank Mr. Amos Starr for his time in making that for us and sending it in to us. Still smells like cedar wood. It's kind of neat. Now, temperature-wise, in my backyard, we had some bare spots in the snow cover. It's 30 degrees. Humidity 49%. The wind northwest at 12, and the barometer is now rising. High temperature this day, 33, 23 last night, 11 below zero. The record low for this date, thank goodness that wasn't broken. Sunny a year ago today, near freezing. And we have about an inch of snow left here in the backyard. Satellite view is just in. Now, look to the south of Pennsylvania. A lot of clouds down there. They had a messy day. Snow, rain, Virginia, the Carolinas, even in the mountains of northern Georgia. A little bit of snow from a storm. Now, moving out to sea south of here, it'll stay out of our hair as it heads out to sea tonight. Up to the northwest, just some light snow flurries now up over the Great Lakes. No big storms on the weather map tonight. 80 in West Palm Beach this afternoon. Boy, the sun's getting a little bit higher in the sky down there as well. See a weak little front right there. But let me show you these jet stream winds for later in the week. This is how the computer is projecting the flow to look like, and I just love the way our new live line computer can animate the wind for us. Look at Pennsylvania there in the east, the flow coming in from the west-southwest. This will mean for us no big variation in temperature the rest of this week, but a pocket of very cold air coming down out of western Canada, frigid Arctic air out that way. It will not reach us, but I am a little bit concerned about the jet stream so far south like this, that if a storm gets going over the Midwest later this week, it just may be close enough to the Gulf to tap some moisture, and we could see a storm here late in the week, like only by Friday or Saturday. So we'll see. Between now and then, not too bad. Here's my forecast for tonight. A flurry or two or three. Otherwise, cloudy to partly cloudy skies, a crescent moon overhead at times. Troy, 18, Mayfield, Pocono Summit, Kratzersville, Snyder County, Yolo about 22, Montoursville 21, a northwest wind overnight, but light. Sunrise and sunset times look like this on a Tuesday, 7:18. Hey, that sunset now is getting late at 5:16. Cloudy. Some flurries around tonight. 20, dry for the rush hour tomorrow morning. A little bit cloudy in the morning, and then sunny in the afternoon. 28, 30 on Wednesday, cloudy, partly sunny on Thursday. I think there could be some snow late in the week, but we'll know more about that as we go. So how do you like my pin, huh?
I like
That's
that.
our pin. It was sent in to all of us.
That's nice. All right, well, that means it'll be our turn then sometime, right?
Yes.
After it makes the rounds. Okay.
I'll bring it in for you.
All right, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Joe Zone is next with a Sports Watch. Tonight, the new Super 16 Wrestling Rundown.
Plus, Joe will have an update on the state's otter release program.
It's RCA's Best for Less color TV and video sale. Please hurry if you want the best value ever on an RCA 13-inch color TV. Or the most popular size 19-inch has never been lower. But in 25-inch, our best in keyboards or remotes have savings up to $50. Monitors on sale. And the famous 900 convertible VCR has a $100 direct factory rebate. Hurry in. Get RCA's Best for Less at these fine dealers.
Walker's Furniture and Appliances, Hazleton, and Voitech TV and Appliances, Kingston.
You can win a trip for two on the Love Boat. PM Magazine and Princess Cruise Lines have gotten together to offer you the trip of a lifetime. A cruise aboard the Pacific Princess, the real Love Boat you see on NEP every Saturday night. You'll fly to San Diego, board the Love Boat, and cruise the Mexican Riviera for 7 all-expense-paid days and nights. Watch for details on PM Magazine, weeknights at 7 on NEP.
Well, Joe, probably in some living rooms around this area, people are breathing a sigh of relief. No more pro football for a while.
Yeah, yesterday was it. Looks to me like you were out in Hawaii covering that Pro Bowl game.
I would have accepted that.
Yeah, you would have taken that assignment. You know, all-star games are usually pretty entertaining. I'd say yesterday's NFL Pro Bowl game was that, especially the camera cutaways of the terrific Hawaiian scenery, and it was nice. AFC defense dominated the first half. 6 quarterback sacks. Here, Eric Dickerson nailed in the end zone for a safety. They're up 2-0. Miami's Dan Marino went to work after a blocked punt. That was Gastineau, by the way, who was MVP of the game. He goes to Marcus Allen, 6-yard touchdown, 9-0. Then, San Fran's Joe Montana to Green Bay's James Lofton, touchdown, 9-7. Early in the fourth, Dickerson takes it to the goal line. This is a nice run. Doesn't get it in. Chicago's Walter Payton finishes it off. It's 14-9. After an AFC field goal, makes it 14-12. The NFC hands a touchdown over. A missed handoff. Art Still, who usually is, gets off the ground. The AFC gets a touchdown and a win in the Pro Bowl, 22-14, and that is it, folks. After 7 weeks of high school wrestling, there are still 7 undefeated teams. 5 are in this week's Super 16. 2 are under consideration. Let's take a look at it. West Hazleton, right off the top, is 9-1. 15th ranked Lake Lehman, 10-1. Number 14, Nazareth, 7-2. 13, Mifflinburg, 10-2. Number 12, West Scranton, 10-2. 11 is Stroudsburg, 8-1. Number 10, Bald Eagle Area, 8-0. There's Myers at number 9, 9-2. Number 8 is Jersey Shore, 11-0. 7th is Berwick, 9-1. 6th, Tunkhannock, 10-1. Southern Columbia is 12-0 and ranked number 5. Northampton, 9-1, ranked number 4. Easton, number 3 at 8-1. And then Northwestern second ranked, 10-0, and number 1, Shikellamy. From day one, they're 10-0 right up there at the top. Under consideration this week, Abington Heights, Waverly, West Snyder, Central Columbia, Hanover, Pocono Mountain, and Danville. The other day, an avid hunter, a concerned hunter really, stopped me on the street, wanted to talk about the proposed increase in hunting licenses. I know no one likes to pay more for something they already have, but at least it's comforting to know that the Game Commission is putting some of that money to good use. One of their current projects involves the river otter. The Commission has been working with a research group from East Stroudsburg University, a group trying to reintroduce the river otter into the state's water system. In an earlier phase of the project, the river otter was placed into major rivers and adapted quite well. The next phase involves introduction into lakes and swamps.
The otter is a very secretive animal, and as you saw out here, we saw them for a while after releasing them, but then they disappeared along the shoreline. Without radio telemetry, we could not keep track of these animals, and we would have no idea how well they're doing in the new habitat. So what we're doing is surgically implanting a small transmitter inside their body cavity. It actually requires a surgical operation, is done by our veterinarian, Dr. Chris Carper from the Barton Heights Veterinary Clinic.
The two otters will be closely monitored for about a month, and if researchers are convinced they've been able to adapt, more will be introduced. The river otter will never be as abundant in Pennsylvania as it was hundreds of years ago, but researchers are hopeful that it can develop a healthy and thriving population. Well, the uppity-ups on the Baseball Hall of Fame committee said no again today to Nellie Fox's induction. Fox, you remember, received 74.6% of the votes. You need 75% to get into the hall. The committee reconsidered, but then decided to stay with the original decision. Fox is out of the Hall of Fame. That's all of it. Give tonight your best shot. See you at 11 o'clock, and boy, there's some big basketball stuff tonight. Georgetown, Syracuse for 1.
Right.
Wilkes and Allentown for 2, plus the Super 16 basketball.
Okay.
Okay, terrific. Thanks,
Joe.
And stay with us. We'll show you some winners next.
2 American culture classes took top awards, and we'll tell you about them shortly.
Hi, I'm Chad Booth.
I'm Jane Adonisio. Join us tonight on PM Magazine. We'll be in the Poconos to do some ice fishing.
We'll see the premiere of Diana Ross's video, We Are the Children of the World.
Then we're going to be off on the slopes with snow bunnies. These are some of the cutest and most adorable snow bunnies you'll ever see. Cast line with us tonight at 7 on Channel 16.
Each member of the U.S. ski team has their own individual way of going down the mountain. And while they may not agree on what equipment should get them to the bottom, they do agree on what equipment should get them to the top. Subaru, official car of the U.S. ski team since 1976.
Finally, tonight we have 2 winners in our Newswatch 16 news game to tell you about. Both are from Scranton Technical High School. The first group is an 11th grade American Cultures class. The first period class, taught by Joseph Curie, correctly answered questions on the Geneva talks, sports, and newsmakers to be our winners 2 weeks ago. Newswatch 16's Kathy Bellich talked to the class this morning. The second group of winners at Scranton Tech is a 7th period American Cultures class, also taught by Joseph Curie. Our Mike Stevens talked to last week's winners about the Newswatch 16 news game and its real value, making young people more aware of current events.
And congratulations. All right.
Some teacher, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
That's Newswatch 16 for this Monday.
Be sure to join us tonight on The Update, when we'll be telling you about some new concerns over the education of our children and what's being done about it.
ABC's World News Tonight is next with a look at what it was like in a Nazi concentration camp 40 years ago.
We'll all be back at 11, so for the team, thank you for joining us.
Enjoy your evening.